Good afternoon, students. I think you all know why we are conducting this online classes. It's very unusual for yourself as well as for us. But because of this severe pandemic, our government has decided to conduct the online classes. So today we are here. We are having this online classes. I think you all enjoyed the very long and lengthy vacations. And when we wind up in the month of March, our academic, we were unaware of the such online classes. But today it is a fact that we are having such online classes. Daily, we are watching all the core subject online classes. Today, I am here to teach you English basic grammar, just to recollect what you have learned in your earlier classes, that is in a 6th standard. So just to connect from a 6th to the 7th standard, we'll have some basic grammar, that is parts of. I think you already know what are parts of speech. There are 8 parts of speech. So let's begin to learn one by one all those 8 parts of speech. Okay? So you know that is first part of speech is a noun. Then the second one is the pronoun. Then the third is the verb. Fourth one is the adjective. Then fifth is adverb. Sixth, preposition. Seventh is conjunction. Then eighth is the interjection. So the 8 parts of speech. First one is noun, then pronoun, third is verb, fourth one is adjective, fifth is adverb, sixth is preposition, seventh one is conjunction, and the eighth one is an interjection. I think you all learned what are nouns. So nouns are nothing but the naming words. Noun is nothing but the name of a person, place, animals, things, buildings, rivers, and the planets, your friend's name, your student's parents' name. Such are known as the noun. For example, so first let's just take the school name, then our city name, then your friend's name, your country, so etc. are the nouns. Nouns are nothing but the naming words made of. So let us take some animals. Okay. So these are all the nouns. So next are the pronouns. Where do we use the pronouns here? Which are called as a pronoun? Which kind of words are called as pronouns? Pronouns are nothing but the words where we use in place of a noun. Instead of repetition of the noun, we use the pronoun. For example, I, my, she, he, him, them, they, us, all, himself, etc. So pronoun is a word where we use instead of the noun. Just to avoid the repetition of the noun, we use the pronoun. Got it? Okay. The next is a verb. Verb. What are verbs? Verbs are the action verbs. Verbs are the action words. What you do since morning to the evening, such things you walk, you skip, you hop, you jump, you sleep, you eat, you walk. Such words are the verbs. Verbs denotes the action or the position. So you write, sleep, hop, kick, eat, push, drive, etc. So verb are the action words where the things or the nouns do the action. We call them as verbs. So the examples are written here: write, sleep, hop, keep, eat, push, stand, ride, etc., etc., etc. Are all the action words called as verb. Got it? The next is adjective. What are adjectives? Adjectives are the describing words. We describe something that adjectives are the describe. We will be describing something there. We will describe if there is a building, we will describe it as a very beautiful building, a tall building. And if somebody is dancing or singing, we'll say that she is a very good dancer or mesmerizing. So such describing words we call them as an adjective. Adjectives are nothing but the describing words. So awesome, tall, dark, wonderful, and beautiful, or tall, short, etc., etc., etc. The adjectives. Adjectives are the describing words. We will be describing something there with using such words. So these are all the describing words. We will describe the things, or the persons, or the animals, or the buildings. Something we will be describing here. So such describing words are called as the adjectives. So after the adjective, the fifth one is an adverb. Adverb. What is an adverb? Adverb is a word which modifies a verb or an adverb or adjective. So what is adverb? It modifies, it tells the meaning of, okay. Adverb modifies the meaning of a verb, an adverb or an adjective. Then we'll see some examples of adverb. So patiently. Patiently is an adverb. Beautifully. Downstairs. Everywhere. Side. So adverb modifies the meaning of a verb or adverb or an adjective. So some examples of adverbs are beautifully, downstairs, everywhere, upside, and patiently. In the coming days, the next year, you will be learning about some more adverbs and kinds of adverbs in your next classes. So just for being, you can see that it modifies the meaning of a verb, adverb, and an adjective. So for some examples I have given here, tells about the manner, it tells about the space, it tells about the area, so it tells about the place, that is patiently, beautifully, downstairs, everywhere, upside, etc. are all the adverbs. Got it? The next after the adverb is the sixth part of speech is preposition. What is preposition? Preposition is a word placed. Preposition is a word which is placed before a noun. It is placed before a noun just to give the it give the relation. It shows the relation of a noun in the whole sentence. Whereas some noun is there in that sentence, it shows a relation to that particular noun in the sentence. So always it will be placed before the noun. So what are prepositions? Prepositions is so prepositions shows us the direction, shows us the place, shows us the times. So preposition examples are at, of, in, between, after, before, among, and across. These things are also you are going to learn your next classes thoroughly. So the time being you can learn these things. So that is what these prepositions are: at, of, in, between, after, before, among, across, etc., etc., etc. After these six parts of speech, we can see that seventh one is conjunction. Conjunctions. Conjunctions are nothing but the joining words. We will be joining two words, phrases, or the sentences. We use this conjunction to join the words, phrases, or the sentences. So conjunctions are the joining words. You may be knowing that already you are speaking or talking, you will be, but, because, and, neither, nor, etc. So conjunctions are the seventh parts of speech is conjunction. That is, they are the joining words where we will be used these words to join the words or the sentences or the phrases. But, because, and, whereas, while, neither, nor, neither, or, okay, both, as well as. So such examples belongs to the conjunction. The next and the eighth last parts of speech is interjection. Interjections are nothing but the exclamatory words. Exclamatory words are the where we use to show the sudden feeling of maybe of a sorrow or grievance or happiness, joy. This kind of words are the interjection. Words immediately our body will react something when we hear some bad news or when we hear some good news, automatically our body will start showing some expressions. Immediately we use such words, ah, ouch, wow, so hooray. So those are all the interjections where it shows a sudden feeling of a person, of it maybe of happiness, joy, sorrow, surprise, wonder, etc. etc. Okay? So, and last is that oh, ouch, wow. So these are the interjection words where we use these interjection words to show the sudden and strong feeling of happiness, sad, wonder, and joy. These are all the 8 parts of speech where we are saying that noun is a naming word, pronoun is a word where we use to replace the noun, and verb are action words, adjectives are the describing words, adverbs which modifies gives meaning to the verb as well as adverb and an adjective, and the sixth one is a preposition. Preposition, afterwards seventh one is conjunction, then the eighth parts of speech is the interjection. I think you all understood what are the examples of these 8 parts of speech. Then one by one I will tell you the examples how to recognize the noun, pronoun and the verb when some sentences are being given to you. Okay, students? So I'll write some 2 sentences just to show you how to recognize the nouns. Example 1. Prabhas is a very talented student. Okay. So Prabhas is a boy who is very talented. So we can see that this is a name here and this is a student. He is a student. So these 2 words are noun. Okay. The second example is her elder son is a doctor. So her elder son is a doctor. Here we can see person is there. Here is also person is there. So these 2 are nouns here. Okay. So you can see that person's name is there. Some persons we are finding here in the 2 sentences, that is Prabhas and students and son and doctor. So these 4 words are the nouns. The next is a pronoun. We'll see some examples in a pronoun. has said you that we use the pronoun just to repeat it, just to avoid the repetition of the noun. Wherever we are using more times the same noun, instead of that noun, we will replace it with some pronoun. So I will show you how to do that. Raju is a good boy. Raju seventh standard. Raju's father is a policeman. Raju is fond of singing. So this is one short paragraph is about Raju, who is a very good boy and studies in seventh standard, and his father is a policeman and is fond of singing. So here you can see in the whole four sentences, everywhere the Raju is being repeated here. Okay. The sentences begin with the word Raju, the name Raju, then four times it has been repeated. Just to avoid this repetition of Raju, we will use one noun, that is he, because Raju is the boy. So we will remove this Raju and we can use here he studies in the seventh standard. His father is a policeman. He is fond of singing. So wherever there was a repetition of a word name Raju, we have replaced it with a pronoun, that is he. Got it, students? So this is where we use a proper way of a pronoun. Is it clear? Okay. Now we learn some examples of verb. Okay. So verb, birds are chirping. Megha is riding her motorcycle. So now we have to recognize a verb in this two sentences. So we can see that birds are doing something here. What are the birds doing? Birds are chirping. So we can see that bird is a noun and chirping is a sound done by the birds. So chirping is a verb. This is a verb. So now next example is Megha. Megha is riding her bicycle. Megha is doing something there. What is she doing there? She is riding. What she is riding? She is riding the bicycle. So Megha is doing some work there. So riding. Riding is a verb. What the action she is doing there? So riding is a verb. Okay. So this is how we will recognize the verbs in these sentences. The next fourth part of speech is adjective. So I'll give you some examples of adjective. Srinagar is a beautiful city. So this is the first example. Srinagar is a Beautiful city. The second example is my shirt is too short. My shirt is too short. You can see there, adjective, we are describing something there, we are describing about Srinagar, the city, which is very beautiful. The Srinagar city is very beautiful. We are describing the Srinagar as beautiful. So beautiful word is a adjective. In the second example, the shirt is too short. The shirt is too short. So too short. We are describing the word. We are describing something there. We are telling something about the shirt which is too short. The short is here. Too short is an adjective. Okay. So this is what to recognize the adjectives in given sentences. The next after that we learn about the adverb, how to recognize the words in the given sentences. That is the fifth part of speech, that is adverb. Yes, adverb examples will be I walked downstairs. I walked downstairs. She shouted very angrily. I walked downstairs. She shouted very angrily. So you can see that the person who it is, I, is walking downstairs and she shouted very angrily. So you can see that downstairs and angrily are the two words in these two sentences. They are the adverbs. So this downstairs is the adverb and angrily is also adverb. Okay? Okay, now next is a preposition. How to recognize a preposition in the given sentences? First examples of preposition is I am going to meet it on Monday. This is the first example. I'm going to meet it on Monday. The next example is the dog is behind the box. So here you can see some prepositions in these two sentences. I'm going to meet it on Monday. So to as well as on are the two prepositions here. And in the second example, is behind the box. Behind is also a preposition here. Are the prepositions. Okay. The next is a conjunction. The seventh part of speech is conjunction. Now let's see the examples of conjunction. have said you conjunctions are the joining words. I'll show you two sentences which will join them and make you one sentence using this word conjunction. I went to the bookshop. One sentence, then I bought this book. So it's the first example here. I went to the bookshop, I bought this book. Now there are two sentences. So now we will join these two sentences using one conjunction, that is, I went to the bookshop and bought this book. Here we are using and, which is a conjunction. Got it? Now, example, I'll tell you. Hurry up, you will be late. Hurry up, you will be late. So I'll join these two sentences now. Hurry up, otherwise you will be late. Hurry up, otherwise you will be late. Here we have used one extra word, that is otherwise, just to join these two sentences. So this is what a conjunction is, otherwise. Okay? The next, and the eighth parts of speech is interjection. As I have said earlier, an interjection is an exclamatory word where we use it just to express some happiness, joy, wonder, sorrow. Okay? So some examples of this interjection are so first example is, alas, he is no more. Hooray, we have won the match. You can see, students, that here we have used one symbol, punctuation mark, that is exclamation mark. Keep in mind that whenever we are using an interjection, which is an exclamatory word, where exclamation mark is compulsorily used there, that is this sign. Just to show that feeling, certain feeling, we will use this exclamation sign here. Alas, he is no more. So here we are showing a very sorrow. We are showing that something has happened there and depressing something there. So alas is being used, which is an interjection. Alas, he is no more. Alas, the word shows that it is an interjection. Now next is, hooray, we have won the match. Here we have won the match, that something happiness is being there, which is we are showing through the word hooray. Hooray. First we speak or tell hooray, then the sentence is being completed. We have won the match. This is a sudden feeling what we are showing, that hooray. And alas, a sudden mild, weak happiness and sorrow words what we use here, hooray and alas, are the interjections. Okay? These are the two examples for the interjection. I think you all understood the 8 parts of speech, their examples, and their related sentences, how to recognize them while reading or writing, while improving our grammar. So this is what we are recollecting just to move on to our current classes. So in these coming classes, we will be learning something more about these classes. So this is what today's online class is about, the parts of speech. Is it clear, students? I think you all understood. Thank you for being with us.